Title: My wife took our kids and moved to France with her boss. You'll never see them again, she said. I couldn't afford international lawyers. Selling my childhood home, I found a 1983 newspaper clipping in the attic. Local businessman's wife and child disappear. Start. I was packing what little was left of my life when I found it, a yellowed newspaper clipping buried in the attic insulation. The headline read, "Local businessman's wife and child disappear, 1983. The child's name was mine. The businessman wasn't my father. That was the night everything changed, again. 2 months earlier, my wife took our children and moved to France with her boss. No warning, no fight, just a voicemail that said, "Don't call us. You'll never see them again." She knew I couldn't afford the lawyers. International custody battles eat men like me alive. She knew exactly what she was doing. We'd been together 12 years. I thought she loved me, thought I'd built a family worth keeping. But looking back, I see the cracks now. How she started locking her phone, how her boss's name kept sliding into conversations that didn't need him. I ignored it, because you don't suspect betrayal until it's already sitting at your dinner table. The house I was packing was my childhood home. Inherited, mortgaged, now useless. Selling it was my only option. That's when the clipping fell from an old box labeled Christmas. The faces were blurred from age, but the names were clear. My name, my mother's first name. But the man standing next to her, the man who wasn't my father, he was someone else entirely. The article said he was a young entrepreneur at the time. His wife and child vanished without a trace. Police suspected kidnapping, but no ransom ever came. The trail went cold. I sat on the attic floor, the wood creaking under the weight of revelation. I wasn't angry yet, not about the abduction, not even about my wife. I was empty, until I read the man's name again. Arthur Vance. The founder of Vance Realty, net worth $240 million. I looked him up that night. Still alive, still sharp, 76. I sent an email with the subject line, "I think you're my father." I didn't expect a reply. He called the next morning. His voice shook once, then steadied. "I never stopped searching," he said. "You were abducted by your mother's lover. He disappeared with her. With you. My mother's lover. The man I called Dad for 39 years. He died when I was 16, so I couldn't ask why. But I didn't need to. I'd been living the answer. Grief is a strange teacher. It doesn't ask for your attention, it takes it. And when it's done, it leaves a space. A clean, quiet space. Perfect for planning. Arthur flew me out to his estate a week later. DNA confirmed it. I was his son. The son he'd lost to betrayal. We sat in his study, heavy curtains swallowing the light. "I have more money than I can spend," he said. "But I have no one left to give it to." His wife was gone. His real son, me, was stolen. Everything he built was for a ghost. That night, I told him everything. My wife, the boss, France. He listened, jaw tight, eyes glassy with something that looked like pity. Then he smiled, a slow, deliberate thing. "Let's make her regret thinking you were weak." Arthur taught me the quiet weapons, trusts, shell companies, offshore holdings. Within 2 months, I'd learned how to move money like a shadow. I wired the last of my savings into an LLC we created together, Marceau Holdings, named after the street where she lived in France. She'd never notice. From there, it was simple. Her boss, Gregory Mott, owned a chain of boutique hotels. Arthur bought a controlling share through 3 dummy investors. I became a silent partner, buried under corporate fog. When they opened their new hotel in Nice, I was there. Not in person. My name was on the contract that owned the land beneath it. A clause in the lease said if the tenant engaged in conduct detrimental to the company's reputation, ownership would revert to the holding group. Photos, videos, emails, Everything they thought was private wasn't. Arthur's old investigators made sure of that. 2 weeks after the grand opening, the French press received a package. Photos of Gregory and my wife in bed, time-stamped while she was still married to me. Financial records proving he laundered investor funds to pay for their vacation home. The story broke him 3 languages. The hotel chain collapsed in 5 days. Gregory was indicted in 7. Arthur watched the news with a glass of scotch. "You see," he said, "revenge is just inheritance executed properly." My wife called me for the first time in months. Her voice trembled. "They froze our accounts," she said. "The police came. They took the kids. Social services." She stopped. Then quieter. "Did you do this?" I didn't answer. "Please," she said, "they'll send me to prison." "You told me I'd never see my children again," I said. "Well," I whispered, "you were half right." Then I hung up. Arthur's lawyers arranged everything. Custody reverted through a court in Monaco under international guardianship laws, a legal maze only his kind could navigate. Within 6 weeks, my children were flown home. They didn't understand the details, only that I came for them when she didn't. Arthur met them once, in his garden. He cried openly, hands shaking as he held their faces. "Family," he said softly, "isn't blood. It's who fights for you." He passed away 3 months later, left everything to me, every property, every account. In his will, one line stood out: "To my son, who was stolen twice, but never stayed lost." Sometimes, late at night, I walk through that old childhood house before it's demolished. I think about the lies that built it, the mother who ran, the father who wasn't, the wife who betrayed. All of them gone. The house creaks like it remembers. I touch the attic beam where the clipping fell and whisper, "Thank you." Then I lock the door behind me and light the match. The fire eats everything quietly. No screams, no chaos, just the sound of wood surrendering to truth. And in the glow, I finally understand. Some homes aren't meant to be lived in. They're meant to burn.